Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 8th May 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action, and all the training lessons are available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. So at our channel homepage, click on the tab posts. Some of you may see community tab. In that case, click on the community tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to all the training lessons. You just click on this link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course. Here you have all the training lessons are available. You just need to start your training from the first lesson that is available at the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions. I provided the training instructions at our Telegram channel. So you can join at our Telegram channel. I provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. So once you join at our Telegram channel, at the top of the window, you can find pinned messages. Go to the pinned messages, and one of the messages are having all the training instructions. So please learn this course according to my training instructions. Then you will become a very good independent trader in the coming months time period. Now let's get into the report generation with the help of NeoStock Software Supply Demand Zone Top-Down Analysis Strategy Builder. First, I'm going to generate daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones, and then I will generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain, and then I will generate sideways bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades. Then we will generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames, and also above daily time frame we will also find price closed inside the demand and supply zones. And finally, at the end of the report, I will generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. So please remember this order. Now starting with the daily time frame, let us find the stocks near to the daily demand zone. Scrolling the list down, total 18 stocks are filtered. So from this list, let us identify high liquidity demand zones. Daily high liquidity demand zones. Dixon is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. ICICI GI is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. LIC Housing Finance is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Oberoi Realty is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Polycab is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. So total we identified 5 daily high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay, next, for daily time frame, let us find the stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity supply zones from this list. CG Power is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Jubilant Food is not valid, it is having pierced the zone. Sonacoms is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. So total 2 valid high liquidity daily supply zones identified from this list. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. Scrolling the list down. So total 21 stocks are filtered. Okay, let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones. First one is Nifty IT is not listed in F&O, so we are not focusing on this. But anybody who wants to trade during intraday on any long trades, you can use, for indices, you can use ETFs, exchange traded funds. Okay, but anyway, let's look into the stocks. ABC Capital is having a 75, but it is not valid. It is a pierced demand zone. So it's not valid. So APL Apollo is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. LIC is having 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. And United Spirits is having a high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. So total we identified 3 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay, next for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near to the 75 minute supply zone. We got 3 stocks. And we don't have any valid 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. Okay, so with this we have identified daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones. Next we will look into Nifty and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. So I am generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. See, any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zone. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. And also look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. So this is the way you can understand the remaining reports. Remaining columns, so you can understand, you know them. Okay, next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Okay, next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Serial number 24 is having the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. So let me put it in the center. Okay. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. And this entire page is having supply zones. I am scrolling the list down to find the demand zones. Serial number 33 is having nearest demand zone to the current closing price. I am adjusting in the middle of the page so that you can get equal number of demand and supply zones. Okay. Okay, this is about a NIFTY supply demand zone chain. Next I will generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain, changing the name to Nifty Bank. Starting with monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So this is about a Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, we will generate sideways, bullish, bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trade. Okay, starting with sideways long trade setup for monthly income trade, entry time frame daily, entry zone demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways trade setup at daily. I am selecting sideways long, zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 11. Let's filter. We got 6 stocks. Some of the demand zones are piercer zones. You have to use them only for piercer zone strategies. Okay, next sideways short trade setup. For monthly income trade, entry zone is supply zone and daily time frame selecting sideways short. Remaining filters are same. We got 1 stock. It is already tested once. Okay, next monthly income trade bullish trade setup. Entry zone, demand zone, entry time frame anyway daily. Now I am selecting bullish and in minimum odd enhancer score I am selecting 12. Let's filter. We got 10 stocks. Now within these 10 we can filter high probability trade setup zones based on zone confluence. So first filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is daily and weekly demand zone confluence. Let us apply this filter on the 10 stocks. Now they are filtered down to 5 stocks. In these 5 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. And weekly trend is up in all the stocks. So let us further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. In that case, the overlapped daily demand zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's filter. In the EMA Confluence, at weekly time frame, because daily is part of the weekly zone, so we are checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence. So two stocks are filtered. So these two daily demand zones are having more high probability to get success. Okay, next we will use one more filter, LTF, ITF and even HTF demand zone confluence. I am removing this filter. That is the daily, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. So in the demand zone confluence, three filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Next, daily and monthly demand zone confluence, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. With all the three filters, we got two stocks. In these two stocks, these daily demand zones overlapped with weekly demand zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. But monthly trend is up in only one stock. Let's verify if this stock monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. At the same time, trend on the monthly should be uptrend, not sideways, because it is bullish trade setup. So that one stock, Reliance, is filtered. This daily demand zone, which is overlapped with weekly and monthly, is having more high probability to get success, because monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. In that monthly demand zone, this daily demand zone is overlapped. So this is about bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, let us look into bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish or sideways trade setup at daily time frame. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhancer score 12. With these filters, we got three stocks supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. And entry time frame zones are supply zones, daily supply zones. Out of these three daily supply zones, how many are having a ITF supply zone confluence, that is daily and weekly supply zone confluence? Let's filter. In the supply zone confluence, selecting the filter daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. Now we got all the three stocks. That means in all the three stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zones. And the weekly trend is down. So let's filter any of the weekly supply zones having weekly EMA confluence. So with this filter, from 3, 2 stocks are filtered. So these two daily supply zones are having more high probability to get success. Maybe that is the reason why this zone is already tested 3 times. So it is tested the supply zone and price is now near to the demand zone. Almost it is achieving the target. Okay, next we will filter based on LTF, ITF and even HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter because it is ITF specific. Now we should focus even on HTF. So in the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter, daily and weekly supply zone confluence enabled. Daily supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. Weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. So in these 2 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zones. Both together again overlapped with monthly supply zones. But monthly trend is down in only one stock. So let's verify this stock is having monthly supply zone with monthly EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at monthly, checking monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence. At the same time, trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So this stock is filtered, having monthly trend down and the monthly having monthly EMA confluence, and in that monthly zone this daily supply zone is overlapped. So this is bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Okay, I gave a very detailed explanation for both these. So remaining weekly, daily and hourly quickly I will generate. Not much commentary. Those who are looking for commentary, please refer what the commentary I have given. Monthly and monthly bullish, bearish, sideways. Same thing applicable in remaining. But only thing is, in remaining reports I will be adding pierced zones. Zone should not be pierced. That is the extra parameter I will add. Okay. So weekly income trades. Next, sideways long trade setup. Entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone, demand zone. Here at 75 minutes, I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement VOZ. Minimum order enhancer score 11 for sideways trade setup. And also the 75 minutes zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. And this filter is applied to 75 minutes demand zone. So that means we don't have any bullish trade setups, long trades, sideways trade setup, long trades. No stocks are available. Okay, sideways short trade setup, entry zone, supply zone. And here at 75 minutes, I am selecting sideways short. Remaining all three filters are this time applied to 75 minutes supply zone. So we got 3 stocks supporting sideways short trade setup. This is for monthly income trade. Next, bullish trade setup. Entry zone, demand zone. Here 75 minutes, I am selecting bullish. And only change in the parameters is minimum order enhancer score 12. So with these filters, we got 8 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. So we have total 8 75 minutes demand zones. Let us identify high probability trade setup demand zones based on the zone confluence. First filter is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. So with this filter, out of 8 stocks, we got 7 stocks. In all the 7 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zone. And daily trend is up in all the stocks, ITF trend. So let's filter daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence. 3 stocks are filtered. So these 3 75 minutes demand zones are having more high probability to get success. Look into this stock. This is near to the high liquidity demand zone. It is already filtered in high liquidity zones. And also it is supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Okay, next let us filter based on LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence. Removing EMA filter, demand zone confluence, 3 filters. This is daily, weekly, daily and monthly demand zone confluence. Sorry, I made a mistake here. 75 and daily demand zone is already enabled. So 75 and weekly demand zone confluence, daily and weekly demand zone confluence. Because this is WIT trade, not monthly income trade. So these 3 filters are enabled. We got only 1 stock. This daily demand zone overlapped with weekly, both together, this 75 minutes demand zone overlapped with the daily, both together overlapped with weekly. But weekly trend is sideways, so EMA confluence we don't filter. It won't give any advantage. So this is bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. Here at 75 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ. Minimum order enhancer score 12. and pierced count at 75 minutes, minimum value 0, maximum value 0 with these filters. Now we got 8 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. So total we got 8 75 minute supply zones. Out of these 8, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on the zone confluence. First filter 75 and daily supply zone confluence. So by applying this filter, we got 7 stocks. All 75 minute supply zones overlapped with daily supply zone, and daily trend is down in all the stocks. Let's filter based on daily EMA confluence. Daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 6 stocks. So these 6 75 minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success. Okay, next we will filter based on LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes daily, weekly supply zone confluence. First filter is enabled. Next 75 and weekly supply zone confluence, daily and weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. Both together overlapped with, this 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. Both together overlapped with the weekly supply zone. But weekly trend is sideways. So we can't filter weekly supply zones with weekly EMA, because sideways EMA confluence does not give any advantage. So this is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next we will look into hourly income trades, sideways, bullish and bearish trade setups. For hourly income trade, entry time frame is 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zones for sideways long trade setup. And at 15 minutes, I am selecting sideways long, zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhancer score 11 for sideways, and also this 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 2 stocks. This is sideways long trade setup. Next, sideways short trade setup, entry zone, supply zone. See here 15 minutes, I am selecting sideways short. Remaining filters are applied to 15 minutes supply zone. Let's filter. No stocks are available. Okay, next bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. And here 15 minutes I am selecting bullish. The only difference in the filters is adding minimum odd enhancer score 12. With these filters, we got 4 stocks. Bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. Out of these 4 15 minutes demand zones, let us identify excuse me. Out of these 4 high probability zones based on zone confluence, let us filter. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. Out of 4 stocks, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 15 minutes demand zones overlapped with 75 minutes demand zones. 75 minutes trend is up. Let us check 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. One stock is filtered. So this demand zone is having, this 15 minutes demand zone having more high probability. Maybe that is the reason why this zone is already tested and moving towards the supply zone. Okay. Next we will filter based on LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence, removing the ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is enabled. Next 15 minutes and daily demand zone Confluence, 75 minutes and daily demand zone Confluence with all the three filters. We got two stocks. So both these demand zones, 15 minutes demand zones overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with daily demand zone. And daily trend is up in only one stock. Let's verify if this demand zone, daily demand zone having daily EMA. If that is the case, this 15 minutes demand zone might be having more high probability to get success. Let's filter in the EMA Confluence at daily demand zone having daily EMA or not. At the same time, trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So this one stock is filtered. So this 15 minutes demand zone having more high probability to get success. So this is bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. Here bullish or bearish or sideways trade setup at 15 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd and enhancer score 12. And also 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So at 15 minutes, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 7 stocks. These 7 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Out of these 7, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on the supply zone Confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone Confluence. That is 75 minutes, 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone Confluence. So I am enabling the filter. We got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. And 75 minutes trend is down in all the stocks in ITF trend. So let's filter if 75 minute supply zone is having daily EMA Confluence. One stock is filtered. And this 15 minute supply zone might be having more high probability compared to the other stocks. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF and even HTF supply zone Confluence supported stocks. Removing ITF filter. In the supply zone Confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Next 15 and daily supply zone Confluence, 75 minutes and daily supply zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, these 15 minute supply zones overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with daily supply zone. But daily trend is down in only one stock. If this daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence, in that case the overlapped 15 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify that. In the EMA at daily time frame checking, daily supply zone with daily EMA, and also trend on the daily should not be sideways, it should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So that one stock is filtered. So that way this 15 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success. So this is about bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, let us look into hourly income trade stocks. In hourly income trade, entry time frame is 5 minutes. First long trade setup for sideways, entry zone, demand zone. Bullish, bearish or sideways trade setup at 5 minutes time frame. I am selecting a sideways long, zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd and enhancer score 12, and also 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 5 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 4 stocks. Sideways long trade setup for the hourly income trade. Similarly, for short trade setup for hourly income trade, entry zone, supply zone. And here at 5 minutes, I am selecting sideways short. And remaining filters are same, but this time they are applied to 5 minute supply zone. Let's filter. I think I made a mistake in the earlier report. I'm going back and regenerating. Here minimum order enhancer score should be 11. So I'm regenerating the long trade setup once again. Sorry for the mistake. So this is sideways long trade setup. We got 5 stocks. I think one extra stock we got, the 5th one, because it is having odd enhancer score 11. Earlier it is filtered. Now after changing to 11, we got 5th stock. Okay, so now sideways short trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry zone, supply zone, and here in sideways short I am selecting at 5 minutes. Remaining filters are same. Applied to 5 minutes supply zone. We got 6 stocks. This is sideways short trade setup. ZV means zone violation based sideways. Instead of zone violation, you can also use pivot, right? At present, we are supporting zone violation based because it is pure supply demand zone concept. Okay, next bullish trade setup, hourly income trade, entry zone, demand zone, and here the change is bullish. And one more change. Now OE score should be 12. Now all the filters applied to 5 minutes demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Let's check out of these 3 how many are having IT of demand zone confluence. That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I'm enabling this filter. All 3 are filtered. That means all these 5 minutes demand zones overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. Okay, fine. Let's check any 15 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. These are the rare combinations. Mostly we won't get, but luckily anything we get, that stock might be having more high probability to get success. So I'm checking whether 15 minutes demand zone having daily EMA, because our 5 minutes demand zone is overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. So none of the stocks are having EMA. Okay, fine. Removing EMA filter. Now let us check all the three demand zone confluence. 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. First filter is enabled. Next 5 minutes and 75 minutes zone confluence. 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got again 3 stocks. But means all the 3 5 minutes demand zones overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone, both together again overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. That means all these 3 5 minutes demand zones are fine-tuned demand zones inside the 75 minutes. But that 75 minutes trend is sideways. Sideways we can't filter any EMA confluence. Okay, this is a bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for hourly income trade, entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, supply zone in bullish, bearish, 5 minutes I am selecting bearish, zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhancer score 12, and also 5 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So at pierced count, 5 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got big list. Bearish trade setup. First 15 stocks in the list. Because today after market is down by some around 200 points, seems bearish trade setups are enabled on 15 minutes time frame. Okay, I'm scrolling the list down. Total 30 stocks are filtered. Okay, out of these 30, because the list is big, first let us focus on the zone confluence. Out of 30, 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence supported stocks. Sorry, not EMA confluence, in the supply zone confluence. 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence, because it is bearish trade setup. By enabling this filter, out of 30 stocks, we got 25 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 25 stocks are filtered. ITF trend is down in all the stocks, 15 minutes trend. So let's check any 15-minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. In that case, the overlapped 5 minutes demand zones might be having, overlapped 5 minute supply zones, because it is bearish trade setup. Entry zone is supply zone. They might be having more high probability to get success. So out of 25 stocks in EMA confluence at 15 minutes time frame, I am checking 15 minute supply zone having daily EMA or not. So 3 stocks are filtered. So probably these 3 5-minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success compared to the others. See, already hourly income trade success rate is low. Among the low success rate, these stocks might be better. That is how you have to understand. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and even HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing this EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is enabled. Next 5 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 7 stocks. So in these 7 stocks, these 5-minute supply zones are overlapped with 15-minute supply zones, and both 5 minutes and 15 minutes together again overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. And 75 minutes trend is down in 4 stocks out of 7. If any of those 4 stocks are having 75-minute supply zone with daily EMA, probably they might be having even more better probability to get success. So I'm going back, EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, checking 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA or not. At the same time, trend on the 75 should not be sideways. It should be downtrend, because it is bearish trade setup. Let's filter. We got only 1 stock. So probably this 5-minute supply zone might be having better probability to get success compared to the others. So this is how we generated a bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. So with this we have completed the income trade reports. Next we will generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zones, and for above daily time frame, price closed inside demand and supply zones also we will generate. So starting with yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly demand zone, we got 4 stocks. Next, price closed inside the yearly supply zone, no stocks are available. Next time frame, half yearly, stocks near half yearly demand zone, no stocks. Stocks near half yearly supply zone, 1 stock is filtered. Next, price closed inside the half yearly demand zone, 4 stocks are filtered. Next, price closed inside the half yearly supply zone, 4 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is quarterly, stocks near to the quarterly demand zone, we got 1 stock. Stocks near to the quarterly supply zone, we got 5 stocks. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. First 22 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 23 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence, and quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence, and also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways, can be up or down. We got 13 stocks are filtered. Okay, next quarterly time frame, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone, we got 11 stocks. Out of these 11, how many quarterly supply zones are having EMA confluence. Quarterly supply zone with quarterly EMA, and also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got 4 stocks. See, here the rule is EMA confluence zones might be having better success compared to the normal zones. Okay, this is about quarterly time frame. Next time frame is monthly. Stocks near to the monthly demand zone. We got 9 stocks. Next, stocks near to the monthly supply zone. We got 5 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. We got a big list. First 18 stocks. Scrolling the list down. Total 28 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on the monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. And also trend on the monthly either up or down. So we got 10 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 20 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence. Trend on the monthly up or down. Now we got 12 stocks. Okay, next, weekly time frame. Stocks near to the weekly demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. 33 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly either up or down. So we got 8 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 49 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on this weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So we got 14 stocks. This is about weekly time frame. Daily we already generated. Next, 125 minutes time frame. Stocks near to the 125 minutes demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 26 stocks are filtered. Next, stocks near to the 125 minutes supply zone. We got 7 stocks. Next time frame 75 is already generated. We will generate 25 minutes time frame. Stocks near to the 25 minutes demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 17 stocks are filtered. Next, stocks near to the 25 minute supply zone. We got 2 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near to the 15 minutes demand zone, we got 9 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 15 minute supply zone, we got 3 stocks. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone, we got 11 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone, we got 2 stocks. So this is about finding the stocks near demand and supply zones in different time frames, and also weekly and above time frames, price closed inside the zones also we generated, including EMA Confluence. Okay, in the final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. Scrolling the list down, any stock you want to refer, pause the video. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.